For the longest time now, I've always wanted to build a mono green deck. Something big, something stumpy, something that doesn't really require much brain power. I spent months really trying to find a commander that resonated with me, and sitting at 720 on the rankings, I found Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. Ashaya screams combo commander to me, and I was honestly shocked about how low she was on the list, given that she's been around for quite some time now. I started my deck building process on Moxfield looking for inspiration when I found a primer that said, and I quote, "There are around 721 unique combos in this deck capable of combining to produce infinite mana." That's all I needed to hear. It's also worth noting that the goal for this deck was to be a bracket 4. I strongly believe with the amount of tutors and synergy my deck has, that it's not really appropriate to be at a bracket 3 table, but it's definitely not at a bracket 5 table. I think mono green doesn't really survive there. But you never know. Probably not though. Now as for what Ashaya does, she reads, Ashaya's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. They are still affected by summoning sickness. As for how the deck plays, there are two main goals. One, try to find a way to generate infinite mana, which is pretty easy with our commander. And two, find an outlet to use infinite mana and win the game. It's pretty simple. The only caveat is that the first goal heavily relies on your commander being on the battlefield. So let me show you how the deck works. It's important to note that we don't want to play Ashaya as soon as we can, but rather as soon as we're confident we can pop off with her. She becomes a massive removal target once your opponents know what you're doing on the board, so you really have to choose your time to strike wisely. Luckily green has a bit of protection to counteract this, but still you need to choose your time to strike. One of the easiest ways to make infinite mana with this deck is with Agathonian Elder and Leyweaver. Both of these allow you to untap each other, plus one additional forest to float as much green as you want. It's pretty simple, but its main weakness is that either of these two creatures need to not suffer from summoning sickness for them to work. This can be achieved through like haste enablers like Concurrent Crossroads or Lightning Greaves, which are both in the deck, or pulling them out on someone's end step with Court of Calling when they're not expecting it. One of the other ways you can make infinite mana is with Curian Ranger and Scribe Ranger. Both of these work so well with the deck. I say this because these cards are super cheap, and with the Ashaya in play, they're almost impossible to get rid of. The haste enablers shown in the previous example work really well, as well as other cards like Tireless Provisioner or Lotus Cobra. Now we can tap them for an additional green mana before bouncing them to hand. Lotus Cobra and Tireless Provisioner will net an extra green mana or treasure every time one of them ETBs, since it is a landfall trigger, so both of these work super well. Additionally, there are heaps of other cards like Leyline of Abundance, Selvala, Utopia Sprawl, and Wild Growth which also enable this line, although it's a little more convoluted. There are seriously so many cards this commander can combo with that it's actually hard to find cards that it doesn't combo with in mono green. Now for our second goal, to find the combo pieces, this deck has a lot of tutors. Whether it's straight to the battlefield or in hand, we have so many ways to make this deck as consistent as possible and find the mana sync we need. These tutors can help you find combo pieces you need to make infinite mana, or find the game winning card once you do have infinite mana. I won't stop to read all these cards, but there are plenty here, some pretty common, some a little more niche that just work perfectly with the deck. Now that we have infinite mana, how does the deck actually win? Well, there are two main ways, but there are a lot more convoluted ways after this. One is Walking Ballista. It's pretty simple. I'm sure you know what Walking Ballista does right now. You just dump all your mana into its activated ability and you can just ping everyone at the table till they all die. Secondly, we can take advantage of landfall triggers such as Scoot Swarm, Avenger of Zendikar, or Raging Baloth, and when used in combination with Finale, Devastation, or Concordant Crossroads, it's so easy to swing out and just close out the game. There are also a bunch of honorable mentions that I want to showcase just for having quirky interactions. First, I want to showcase Glimpse of Nature, Beast Whisperer, and Tireless Tracker. These cards are a great way to just draw your entire deck and not have to worry about tutoring for the right cards, as it's just so easy to just keep getting the triggers. Legolas's Quick Reflexes is also another honorable mention. Not only is it protection, but it can also be used offensively, as it also says whenever a creature becomes tapped, it deals damage equal to its power to one other target creature. With Ashaya making everything a creature land, it's really easy to tap something and blow it up, as long as they aren't affected by summoning sickness. Another interesting card I really like is Sky Shroud Blessing. This card is just great board protection when your commander is out, but it also replaces itself once you cast it, so really there's no downside. Another funny interaction is Boom Pile. The fun thing about Ashaya is that she turns all your creatures into lands, which means any effects that destroy non-land permanents don't really affect you. So cards like Boom Pile become this fun one-sided board wipe, and you can also use something like Oblivion Stone, but I think that one was just a little less commander fun for me. And finally, Bear Umbra. This is a super popular commander card, and obviously it's super good on its own, but having the ability to untap all your lands and your creatures once your commander out is so good. So yeah, that's Ashaya. Being in mono green gives you pretty limited resources in terms of interaction, but when your goal at the table is just to accelerate as fast as possible and combo off, you don't really need to try and worry about the others so much, and more just focus on what you want to do. I really enjoy the consistency of the deck, and I enjoy being a combo deck in mono green, as I feel like you don't see that very often. If you have an Ashaya deck, please send it to me, send me a deck list. I would love to look at it, from any bracket that is. And if you enjoyed the video, thanks for making it this far. Maybe leave a like, subscribe, and check out one of my other videos. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I'm a boss like Hugo, you know, vocals on volcanic, neck is on Pluto, just trying to see investments flip like judo, all around the world they hear my raps.